Hey now, what's up everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka ReviewKingMB, and I am here to continue my 31 days of horror movie reviews with The Lost Boys. Yes, The Lost Boys is a 1987 horror film that was directed by Joel Schumacher. And the plot is we meet the Emerson brothers, Michael and Sam, them along with their mother. They're moving to California to live with their grandfather, and everything should be fine. It's California, right? Well, until Michael meets the wrong group. First, he sees this girl, Star, who is very attractive, so you can't blame him for being a little enamored. But then he sees that she's with this group led by David, played by Kiefer Sutherland. And it does not take long before you realize that this group, they're not just a group. They are a group of vampires. And slowly but surely, David is trying to turn Michael into a vampire himself. So it's all up to his younger brother, Sam. Sam, along with these two kids that he meets, they have to try to save his brother and stop these vampires once and for all. Now, what I thought of The Lost Boys was, I have to admit, this is my very first time watching The Lost Boys. I know, I'm almost ashamed to say it because this is one of those movies that I think is a go-to as far as horror movies go. Whenever I hear people talk about vampire movies, horror movies, The Lost Boys is at the top of their list. And I gotta say, after watching it, I can see why. I really enjoyed this film. I did. There's so much good things going on here. First things first, let's talk about the main characters. We have Michael Emerson, played by Jason Patric, and I haven't seen Jason Patric in a whole lot of things, but I've seen him in enough things to say that this is his best performance that I've seen. I thought he was really good here. I really bought his relationship being brothers with Sam, played by Corey Haim. And Corey Haim is another child actor that I hear a lot about. I knew of him, but this is my first movie, I think, seeing him in. And I really like Corey Haim as well. He was just a likable kid. The scene where he goes into the comic book shop and he's talking to the Frog Brothers and he's talking about the Superman comics, the Batman comics. How can I not like this kid after dropping some knowledge like that? The Frog Brothers, you have Edgar Frog, played by Corey Feldman, of course another child actor, and Alan Frog, played by Jemison Newlander. And these two kids, they have these military outfits, and they come off, especially Corey Feldman, he has this deep voice. He's very serious about all this. He's trying to get Sam to look at these vampire comics and trying to drop hints that there's something more going on in this town. And they're almost professionals at this. I love the fact that this movie, because I didn't know what to expect. I didn't realize that Michael would be the one slowly corrupted and becoming a vampire, and that it would be his brother and these younger kids. They would be the ones to try to be the heroes, to try to save the day, to try to save his brother. I love that. I like seeing kids be proactive and smart. Like, I love the scene when they were trying to test their mother's new date, Max, this guy who, you're a little fishy about. You're trying to figure out if he could be a vampire or not. And I loved that scene. I loved how all that played out. I mentioned the mom. The mom is Lucy, played by Diane West, and she has to be the nicest, most kind movie mom I think I've ever seen. She has this gentle voice, very sweet, and whenever she's talking to her son, she just wants to be there for him. But Michael especially, he's going through some stuff. So he's not going to be like, hey, yeah, mama, I'm becoming a vampire. Any advice? No, that's not quite how it goes. But I will say, Michael becoming a vampire and just seeing all of the rules that go into it and see him trying to resist temptation to go out and actually drink more blood, kill somebody. David makes it seem pretty freaking cool to be a vampire. He does. Not just the goth outfits or their look and the makeup and the motorcycles. Like, sure, all of that's cool, but just David's demeanor. Kiefer Sutherland really knows how to just be cool. This is like the coolest I think I've ever seen him. And not only that, sure, he's cool at the beginning, but when you finally do see all of them in their true vampire form, they're scary. They're scary. The makeup effects look great. I love the scenes of them going out and flying. Like, and I love that it was their point of view too. It's like you didn't really have to see them fly, but you got the idea, you got the impression. It worked very well how they shot it. Whenever they would go out and attack people, and it was vicious how they would tear people apart, and they didn't hold back. It did feel so much like an 80s movie. It did. The music, the soundtrack was great. I liked the effects of whenever you saw fights going on, that it was the actual actors or them on wires flying all over the place. I thought that was handled well. There was some moments of some cheesy 80s one-liners that I didn't mind because they genuinely made me laugh. I loved the feel and the tone of this movie. Just a fun, cool, but also creepy, scary at times vampire film. I can see why this is at the top of people's list of all-time favorite vampire movies. I do. It's definitely making my list. So guys, let me know in the comments below if you've seen Lost Boys, which I'm sure you have. I'm like the last person to watch it. What did you think of it? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later. Please won't you save my desires on fire. Sometimes you need a little peace at home. I'm tired, so wired. Come follow me and I can lose you. Come follow me and take a trip to the dark side. Waiting for the perfect moment that I put it in.